Have you ever wondered how colors get that dreamy cinematic glow in their color grades, or maybe your footage is flat and lifeless? Don't worry, I got you, bro. Today I'm going to be showing you a real easy, and when I say easy, I mean easy way to give your color grades that little extra pop. In fact, I'm going to show you two methods in which I like to use the glow tool. One to give my color grades that finisher, that punch, that pizzazz to really bring my color grades in. And another way in which I like to use the glow tool to manipulate my lighting in all of my scenes. So go grab some footage, follow along. We have another great Resolve tutorial for you guys. Let's get right into it. Now, I know I mentioned that I was going to be coming out with a free power grade. It's coming. Please be patient. It'll be available in the next week or two. Just turn on post notifications so that you guys are alerted when I drop that video. But today is all about the glow tool and ways in which we can use it. Now, up on the screen, I have some footage from a supplement commercial that we shot really well. We have 3 interiors that I'm going to be showcasing, and this little clip from a Hyundai campaign that we shot with some nice rollers. So as you could see, the color, the shots, the lighting looks great, but I feel like they could use a little bit more, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's start with our first clip. I'm going to go over the node tree real quick because it's super simple. On my first node, a little noise reduction. My second node, just some exposure adjustments. My third node is an HSV saturation method. This is a method that a lot of pro colorists use to organically and naturally push saturation in the image. I could teach you guys that. It's super easy. It takes a little bit of finessing. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see a tutorial on that. Now, our next 2 nodes are our Glow 1 and our Glow 2 node, because I said there's 2 ways in which I'm going to show you how I like to use the Glow node. Followed by that, we have our vignette, which is just bringing our viewers' eyes directly to the subject. And lastly, our little film emulation color grade. So what I want you guys to do is go up to the top right corner and select effects. And in the search bar, type in glow. And we're going to drop it on our Glow 1 node. I'm going to click on that. And now we have a bunch of different sliders right here. Now, the 2 main sliders that you're going to be playing with 90% of the time is your shine threshold and the spread. Essentially, the shine threshold, as we start to walk it up, is blooming the highlights or the lighting in our scene, whether it's natural light or light that you guys have used to light your subject. The next one is the spread. And if I crank the threshold all the way up, I know it doesn't look pretty, don't worry. You can now use the spread to really just see what's being affected. And we could see that dreamy, glowy look. I mean, there's a whole bunch going on. And if we look at the scopes in the bottom right corner, we could see that it's changing a lot. So let's reset the 2, and I'll show you how I like to use it to really accentuate the light. Now, real quick, I don't want to take up too much time, but outside of this frame on camera left, right out here, we have a key light. We have 2 more lights outside the windows pushing light through these frosted windows. This is helping us motivate our key light as if there was, say, another window, camera left outside of our frame with the light coming in, and then those lights outside the windows that are pushing through. We're motivating that sunset. That's also help raising the levels of that interior as organically possible. If we were to have a bunch of lights inside, it would look lit. And the goal to our lighting and our color grade always is giving the most organic, realistic look possible. So that being said, what I want to do is I want to make some warm light being pushed through those windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the shine threshold and start creeping it back to get a little bit of a bloom. And if I toggle it on and off, we could see it's doing a lot. And if I play around with the shine threshold, I don't want too much of a spread. I think I'm going to leave it right there. Now, how do I warm it up? It's pretty simple. Let's go down to color filter right here and click on it. And that's going to give us our color wheel. We can now take this little target and change the color of that bloom. And I like to put it a little bit right over here, and let's hit OK. Now, if I toggle it on and off, it looks pretty good. We could play around with the spread some more and really just getting it dialed in. Now, remember, when it comes to being a colorist, you're an artist, and art is subjective. So you may not like the way in which I'm showcasing how to use this, but you can jump behind the keyboard and start using this any way in which you would want to motivate that light. We can mess around a little bit more. If we feel like it's a little bit too saturated, we could either pull it back right here, or we could go to the saturation right here and adjust it to make it feel a little bit more organic. Remember, less is more. So if I toggle it on and off, that's looking really, really good to me. And if we want to, we could even use the opacity slider and really either give it more or less. So let's leave it right around there. So going from that to that is pretty cool. Now, another thing we could do on the same node is really confine that glow even more with masks. So you probably have your curves open, but if you click on the masks, now we could use our linear, circle, polygon, curve, gradient. Let's take the circular one, bring it over here, and shape it so that it's only affecting this area. If I go and toggle the mask off and toggle the glow on and off, notice these little lights right here in our scene, the practicals, they're also being affected. But if I turn the mask back on, they're not changing. So there's ways in which you could use the glow tool in conjunction with masks and really shape the way the light's coming in of your scene. I just wanted to make that a quick call out for you guys watching this, because some of you may not know that you could stack different masks on top of different effects depending on how far along you are with your color grading. So that right there is the first method in which I like to use the glow tool. Now let's do that finisher, that pop, that really nice little push of contrast and overall finesse into our image. So we're gonna go to our glow tool. We're gonna go to our glow 2 tool. I can't even talk today. We're gonna drop another glow onto glow 2. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the shine threshold and crank it all the way up, and same with the spread. I know it looks ugly, don't worry. Scroll down to your composite type and then go from add to soft light. And now we could take our opacity slider and it's just giving us that little final extra richness, that little push, and it's looking great. So if I toggle it on and off, that's that last little punch. It's really giving us a little bit of contrast. Now, you could play with your gain and your gamma here too, if you want. Mess around with all the sliders, but these are the main ones that I normally use. And then, yeah, the opacity is the way I finesse it after that. And just to show you how much of a difference these two glow nodes did, essentially, this is after, this is before. Look at the difference in our image, how much more interest, how pretty it looks with the playback right now. I love it. And if you guys see me looking at this monitor, it's because I'm using a clean video feed to my iPad so I could see how it looks on my calibrated BenQ designer series and my LG calibrated monitor, and also how it's going to look on a Mac Apple display, essentially, whether it's a phone, a screen, a tablet, something like that. So if you see me looking here as I'm working, I'm looking at both screens to see my image. So what do you guys think so far? Let me know in the comments below. Let's move on to the roller shot. We have this cool little roller shot up in Azusa Canyon, going through a nice, pretty dapple of light. We got highlights, shadows, we got a whole mix of everything. I'm gonna find a hero frame, which is probably gonna be right here. And same thing, let's go to the glow one and drop on the glow tool. Let's try the same method. So I'm gonna find a sweet spot, and it's okay that my highlights blowing out there. It's gonna make sense and I'll explain it in a couple minutes, but let's just for now see how this is working. So I'm gonna leave it right there. If I toggle it on and off, yes, we have some blown out highlights, but that's okay because I want that sun or faking the sun to be backlighting the car. Let's go down to color filter. Same thing. I'm going to just start playing around with the hue and notice how there's some warmth now coming in through those trees. And if I hit OK and toggle it on and off, it looks like the sun's backlighting our car. Now I'm going to go back up to shine threshold, really push it, and then start dialing it back. Let's go see how it's looking in the beginning of the clip. Now this looks a little bit too much, right? Coming into the highlight, but then it looks good here. So what I could do is I could go over here and now go to saturation. We could find a happy medium. It's still doing so much. You could see in the shadows and the highlights right here, those are looking really pretty. And overall, like, it's that simple, and you don't even have to use color. If you want just a little bit of a bloom, you could definitely do that too without the color push. I just want to call that out. Let's click on Glow 2, drag it on. Remember, we're gonna crank up the shine threshold, the spread, go down to composite tight. We're hitting soft light. And yeah, the default in the middle at 0.5, it's a little bit too much. I'm usually in between there. So I'm around a quarter. And if I toggle this on and off, it's just giving that last little contrast push that I like. And once again, if it's too much, mess around with the gain and gamma sliders. But this to me is doing so much more. I mean, look at that. We're literally shaping light in a natural scene. And here we go. Playing it back. It's looking gorgeous. And now we have that nice golden light. Yeah, it's hot right here. Probably would cut it right before then to a different shot or something like that. But this is just really demonstrating how much these two methods of using the glow tool can do a lot to your image. And you don't have to use both. You don't have to use them ever. But I want you guys to have these in your back pocket when you're looking for that little extra push, that little pop or shape to your lighting. Pretty simple, right? Right. We have our talent once again. Ooh, here's my power grade for you guys right here. It's coming soon, I promise you guys. But yeah, we got beautiful light, nice day. She's mixing it. We got the slash of light coming in on the table. We're motivating light through a window once again outside. And yeah, how can we make this a little bit more interesting, pop it out? I love the teal and orange colors throughout this scene, but it's lacking something. So let's try it. Go up to the glow. Let's drop it on both of them right now. Let's turn off the second one so they're not conflicting, and let's work on the first one. We're gonna start shaping that light. Here we go, shine threshold. I like what it's doing to that background. It's helping raise the levels. Let's see where the spread's looking like. Because the spread does so much. It really does. Like all the way to the left, it's crunchy. All the way to the right, not much. But in the middle, you could find that nice dreamy effect that it's creating. If I toggle it on and off, look how much of a difference it's creating. I love it. And I'm not even going to push color into this one. I'm going to leave it as is. So we're not going to do the color filter. I'm just going to leave it right there. It's giving my image a little bit of a pop, and we still have that teal and orange. I love the way it's bringing up the levels in the midtones though, right here on the wall. So we're going to go with method number 2. We're going to turn this back on, and yeah, that highlight's getting gnarly. Let's crank it all the way to the left for the spread and the shine threshold. Let's go down to composite type and back down to soft light. And yeah, once again, it's too much. Super easy. Let's go to opacity. And I'm going to leave it right there. And let's dial it back a teeny tiny bit. Remember, less is more. It's those little subtle changes. And that being said, if I go to the 2 nodes, toggle them on and off, look how much of a difference we're doing in our image. It's crazy. This tool is one of my favorite. And last but not least, I'm just going to show you guys what I did to this one because I don't want this video to be so long. Same exact thing. If I toggle it on and off, we are just pushing some warmth and overall pop to the image. If I toggle 1, we're doing that little contrast push. And if I toggle 2, which is actually labeled sharp, glow 2, there we go. We're doing so much to this image, and you could really shape light. Just like in Photoshop or Lightroom, when you're dodging and burning shadows, you could do that with the glow tool. Super easy. You could use different power windows, whatever you want. It's really that much of a game changer, and I really hope that you guys watching this learn something when it comes to the glow tool. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever used it, or if you have a different method in which you push bloom into your highlights or give that dreamy cinematic look. Do you use like a bloom tool on Dehancer, the film look generator? Let me know your way in which you create that look, because this is how I do it. If you thought this video is helpful, please, please, please leave a thumbs up and a comment. It really helps out this channel. I'm trying to post 2 times a week, every Tuesday and Friday on here. So yeah, it's gonna be a grind. I see a lot of new people on here. Welcome. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.